Now, looking at other news, the South African Police Service says measures are in place to protect all points of entry in the country, including OR Tambo International Airport. Officials have inspected the national key point to ensure that the EFF's protest does not cause any disruptions at the airport. Mbali Thethani has the story.
The South African Police Service is out in full force to ensure that law and order is adhered to. This in anticipation for the EFF's nationwide protest. The EFF has called on many South Africans to join in as it demonstrates in its national shutdown, which it has vowed will be peaceful. But law enforcement officials are not leaving anything to chance. It has deployed its troops to the OR Tambo International Airport.
The NAT joints came here today, and together myself as the National Commissioner, we visited OR Tambo just to come and have a look at how the deployment is at the airport, and we are quite confident with what we have seen and the briefing we got. We are quite confident that there is sufficient integrated forces that are here, consisting of various disciplines, your Metro Police, SAPS, SANDF. We are quite okay that there is sufficient to make sure that peace will prevail, and those that want to come here will be protected at all times.
While police were heavily criticized during the 2021 July unrest, officials are now also being questioned for over-deploying its resources by some. While other political parties have protested in recent days, officials say this demonstration is different.
When the convener served a notice to say we are going to march, we agree on the route which is going to be used, and we ensure that we make that route a traffic-free zone. So that's what we do with other protests, which we have seen that people they are using the main road, because of we have agreed in our Section 4 meeting to say that this is the route they are going to use to move from point A to point B, and we create that route as a traffic-free zone. But in a situation whereby you don't have that, you don't know where people will picket, where will they start to move, where will they end their movement, it creates a problem. So we will respond to all those other things. The march of the DA, we have agreed, we went to the Section 4 meeting, we have agreed that we'll move from here and then to that point. That is how it has unfolded. So it should not be a concern, and people they think that we are favoring other groupings more than the others.
Airports Company South Africa has welcomed the police's interventions to ensure that travellers will be able to reach their destinations.
We have international obligations. We are governed and managed also internationally and have to meet those obligations. So international arriving passengers have to basically take a normal journey through our terminal and not be disrupted by activities that are actually happening in South Africa. The General has already indicated we have special designated areas for protests, and we basically would be leading people to those areas in case they want to protest. But also in the terminal building, in the parking areas, in the airport precinct where we have a responsibility to secure the environment for aviation business to continue. We will ensure that that business continues in the normal way, because there are two groups of people here. There are people who might be coming to protest, who must be directed specifically to areas where they will be able to do that and exercise their democratic right. But there are passengers who are traveling, who booked these journeys many months ago, who could not change them. Others are traveling home to their businesses and otherwise, and they must be allowed to do so.
OR Tambo International Airport has designated various zones where protesters will be allowed to demonstrate. Police has stressed that lawlessness will not be tolerated during the EFF's national shutdown. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Mbali Thethani in Kempton Park.